When men struggle meeting women, they always obsess over one thing. They think to themselves, what do I say? What line do I use? What words are going to get the best reaction out of the woman? In fact, there's entire communities that exist just to debate this one thing. Things like, do I use a direct opener or an indirect opener? What is the latest line or tactic that I can use that will work the best? It all feels very logical. I mean, meeting women is a process, right? So naturally, why not optimize for the first step in that process? But the reality is, these guys are missing the most important thing. It's like they can't see the forest through the trees. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the real truth about openers. There's a contradiction that most men don't seem to understand. Take a scenario where two men walk up to a woman. They use the exact same word, the exact same body language, the exact same circumstances. One guy gets the woman. He gets her attracted. The other guy gets blown out. He gets totally rejected. It's the same woman, the same opportunity. One works, one doesn't. What's actually happening here is happening before the opener even happens. Let me explain. There's something happening before a single word is being spoken. There's already some communication going on about who you are as a person. Things like eye contact, body posture, how you move, your presence, your aura, and even your social proof. She's already forming an impression about you before you've even opened your mouth. This is where most men lose the interaction without even realizing it. Underneath all the words, underneath all the body language and voice tone, there's something even deeper, something even more fundamental that determines the outcome of your interactions. And this is your frame. Every man brings a frame into the interaction. The frame is simply the lens through which you view the world. It is the thing which shapes your perception. I had a coach many years ago that told me something very, very important, and that is the frame matters more than the picture. It isn't the words. It isn't even the emotions that matter. It isn't the things in the interaction that makes or breaks the interaction. It is your perception. It is your frame. The frame through which you view the world and the frame through which you view that particular interaction will determine its outcome. So what are some examples? Well, there's some negative frames, one of which is approval seeking. Approval seeking is self-validating. You think to yourself things like, oh, I hope she likes me, or what can I say to get her to like me? I need this interaction to go well so that I can feel confident as a man. This creates pressure. This creates neediness. It creates a certain tension in the interaction, makes the interaction less fun and less carefree. You become outcome dependent. Another negative frame is goal seeking. Goal seeking is impersonal and it's selfish. You think things to yourself like, what can I get from her? How do I get her to give me what I'm looking for? Things like a phone number or a date or sex. This creates a disconnect and it creates adversity because it's not collaborative. It is not you and her. It is you versus her. You are trying to coerce her into giving you something. So what are some positive frames? One example of a positive frame is curiosity. Curiosity is the basis of connection. You think things to yourself like, who is she? Do I even like her? There's no pressure to this type of interaction. It's just purely exploration. You're trying to find out who she is as a person. Another positive frame to have is fun. Fun is carefree and it's expressive. You think things to yourself like, I'm here to enjoy myself. I am already having a great time. I feel like I could have more fun if I shared my fun with you. It is an extension of your vibe. You're already having a good time, and it is not dependent on an outcome. You are not trying to have fun. You are already having fun. Now, this is not a comprehensive list. It's just some examples so that you guys understand what it is I'm talking about. And if you're liking this so far, go ahead and hit the like button and leave a comment if you have any thoughts. So how do you have an intentional frame? And what does this even look like? When you have thoughts like, I know what I want, I'm expressing myself clearly, and this is the type of experience I would like to have. These are all examples of knowing what your frame is and knowing how to have intention. The woman that you're interacting with should know. She shouldn't have to guess what type of experience she's going to have with you. She needs to decide whether or not you are a good fit for her. A perfect example of this is a marriage proposal. What happens during marriage proposal? A guy gets down on one knee and he asks the woman to marry him. He is proposing to her that she come with him on this lifelong journey together. The reality is this is the one big proposal. There are many other proposals that men make earlier in the relationship. Your frame should be driven by your values. This is how you can talk with the same words and have a completely different frame, because the things that matter to you are different. Keep in mind that the things that matter to you may result in a negative frame. Maybe one of your values is insecurity. Maybe you need the validation of the woman in order to feel good as a man. One example of this is a guy that I used to hang out with a number of years ago, and he would invariably say things like, "Oh yeah, I want to fuck her. Let's go out. Let's go fuck." And because of this, he had a frame of goal seeking. He was trying to get something out of the woman. He wanted to fuck. But he did it from a perspective of, this is what I'm going to get out of you, rather than this is something we are going to do together. Again, same goal, same objective, but the frame was negative, and the frame was the thing that held him back. So now we can see the truth. It isn't the opener that creates attraction. It only reveals what's already there. It reveals your frame. It reveals the lens through which you view the world. And by extension, it reveals your values. One thing I want you guys to know is that functionally, the opener only does one thing. The opener gets her attention. That's it. The reality is, women don't even really hear the words that are coming out of your mouth for the first 5 to 10 seconds anyway, because she has to realize that you're talking to her. She has to realize the words that are coming out of your mouth and the way that you are saying them. She has to decide whether or not you're worth listening to, and then she needs to tune into your words. So the reality is, she's not even really listening to the words that are coming out of your mouth. So if this is true, then why does the opener matter at all? And that's because there's a second function that most men miss. And this is the key to this video that I'm trying to explain to you. The opener is the first piece of the story that you are going to build with her. It is the beginning of your narrative. It is the beginning of your expression to her. Every interaction you have with a woman is a story that's being written in real time. Now, it is a story that is being written by both of you, and not just you, right? There's two people in this interaction. There's two people in this relationship. And this story is built on how you communicate. It's built on what you communicate. It's based on how you make each other feel. And this is the essence of narrative. This is your narrative and hers coming together to build this relationship. And your narrative is derived from your story. It's derived from the character that you're playing in your life. It's who you are. It's what you've built. It's your objectives in life, the things you're working towards, the things that matter to you. So the real question is, if the opener is just the beginning of the story, what story are you trying to tell? And if you're struggling to understand what your story is, what your narrative is, or even what your values are, things that matter to you, I created a free alignment assessment worksheet that you can get when you sign up for my newsletter. You can see the link in the description. So here's the real question. When you walk up to a woman, do you know what story you're trying to tell? Or are you just hoping that something works? Because once you're clear on this, everything becomes so much easier. The simple reality is, most men open without intention. They usually use some random line, they have random energy, and they hope for a good reaction. If you know a story you're trying to create, your opener should reflect that. So what are some examples? If you're looking for passion, you should be saying things like how she makes you feel. You look absolutely irresistible. You look like you're something about you I just can't stay away from. Or maybe you're looking for something casual, right? In this case, you want to lean into cockiness. You want to lean into your edge. Something like, you look like trouble. Or, why are you being so devious? Or maybe you're looking for a serious partner. And in this case, show some grounded interest in her compatibility. You seem very interesting. You look like I might actually like you. The important thing to understand here is that these are not lines. I want you guys to think about the impression that you're making on her. What image is she getting of you by the word that you are speaking? What type of relationship is she going to have with you? What type of experience is she going to have? And by the way, if you guys need some guidance on how to build your relationship story with her, I did a whole video on relationship archetypes that will explain this in much more detail. You can use this as a guide. I'll put a link at the end of this video. You can even take this a step further. Before you approach, you can make some kind of a cold read and figure out who she is before you've even opened your mouth. You can look at her style. You can look at her energy. You can look at her social behavior or how she behaves with her friends. You can get a good idea of the type of person that she is from a distance. That way you can sort of calibrate or tailor your opener to match that type of personality, the type of personality that she is. This allows you to be more intentional with your opener when you match your approach with the person that she appears to be. But here's the thing. This is not an excuse. This is just a guideline. I don't want you guys to be standing around and saying, oh, I don't know what kind of person she is, so I can't actually go over there and talk to her. The reality is you don't know who she is until you've actually opened your mouth, until you actually start interacting with her. This is just a little tip to help you guys get a little bit more intentionality with your openers. But there's one more piece that matters more than anything. You cannot be attached to the outcome. You have to be okay with any eventuality. Whatever her decision of you actually is, you have to be okay with it. Remember, there are two people in the interaction. It is not just you. There is no opener that will ever work 100% of the time. There's no opener that will even work 50% of the time. If you find an opener that works 30% of the time, you save that shit and you post that everywhere. Post it in the comments, post it everywhere. Everyone needs to know about it. You have to be okay with anything, from a good reaction, a neutral reaction, or even a bad reaction, or even, and it's happened to me a bunch of times, even a fuck off. You have to let it roll off your back, okay? You can't let these things affect you. Her response is not your responsibility. That's the simple reality. It is up to her to choose how she wants to respond to you, and you can't let that affect you. This, by the way, is why having an internal locus of validation and not needing a woman's approval is one of the best things that will help you as a man. Your responsibility is quite simple. Your job is to show up. It's not your job to make her like you. It's not your job to be perfect and say the perfect line and do everything perfectly. It's your job to show up and express yourself in an honest and genuine way. So there's one reframe that will simplify everything. You don't need the perfect opener. You can literally just walk up and say, hi, I haven't met you yet. What's your name? That's my favorite opener. Why? Because it's neutral. It gets her attention. It shows you as a calm, relaxed kind of guy, and you can build the narrative from there. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. It is perfectly fine for you to build a narrative of you and her together after you've done the opener. It's not that critical. Now, what is critical is that you are focused on building the story together, that you are building this collective relationship of you and her together. So why do approaches actually fail? What do most guys get wrong about the openers? Because it's not about the words. It's about your alignment. It's about your narrative, which is derived from your story. It's about the frame that you bring into the interaction, which is shaped by your values. A lot of guys, they don't know what they're communicating. They're sort of bumbling through randomly. They're using random words and random lines that they haven't really thought about. And as a result, their results are random. And a lot of this randomness creates uncertainty. Women pick up on that uncertainty almost immediately. You need to understand who you are so that your presence doesn't feel inconsistent. And there's no opener that can fix that. My name is Ethan. I started the Men's Lab to help guys just like you get the dating results they want through alignment. If you're tired of conventional dating wisdom and the primitive solutions they provide, I can help. You can check out the links in the description. If you like this video, press the like button and subscribe if you want to get updates on future videos. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time.